delicious Singapore hawker food at Pek Kio Food Centre. Welcome to another food adventure with Getting Lost. Today we are back at Pek Kio Food Centre to try some noodle dish and another noodle dish, this time with prawns and more noodles with prawns. Yes, we are having a very noodly episode this week. Lots and lots of noodles. And of course, we need to eat some rice, some roast chicken rice. So, join me as we are back at Pek Kio Food Centre to try the good food that we can find there and around the area. So join me after the intro. Don't go away. Welcome back. We are actually now at Owen Road, which is right next to Pek Kio Food Centre. And here it is, Pek Kio Food Centre. A food centre which is near to Little India. A side walk from there, but you can get lots of interesting food here. A lot of Chinese food at this food centre. Yes. So, before we go in, let's just have a look around the area. And this part is actually the market, and right next to the market is the food center where we're going to have some food there. Yes, so this is Pek Kio Food Center. One thing about this place is most of the food, they cater to the breakfast and lunch crowd. And the first thing we're going to try is at this shop here called Tong Siew fried rice. Yes, this place here, which you can see the big $3. Yes, they sell fried rice and also hor fun. And here is the hor fun, a very basic hor fun for $3. Affordable for $3. The portion is not fantastic, it's a bit small, but it is well fried. The sauce slightly starchy, but still has a good flavor to it. The noodles soft and tender and slip down your throat effortlessly. Very nicely done. A good place for hor fun if you're not looking for any of the frills of seafood or beef and you're not too hungry. And another well-known stall at this food center is Kee Big Prawn Noodles. Unfortunately, the pricing wise here, their prawn noodles here is a bit expensive, and the owner, one of the owners, the lady here, it is a bit the auntie here is a bit brisk and abrupt, and is very fixated with you being behind the red line when you line up to order food. But I must say, this bowl here cost me $5, but it has the most intense and strong flavor of prawn that I've ever tasted in prawn noodles. In the soup, here, the flavor of the prawns are very prominent in the soup, done very well and spicy too. The egg noodles also cook very well. It still has a nice bite texture to it, and as you can see, there's lots of pork lard to it, which they put onto the noodles, which makes it a bit oily, an oily finish, but still a very nice and delicious prawn flavored soup. One thing I must say is I got no issue with the food. The food here is good. No issue with the food. No issue. But this shop here should be more popular. but the only people who actually come here to eat the food, I suspect is only long-term regular customers that always been eating here for a long time, who comes back to this shop to eat. Another shop at the food center here actually sells prawn mee too, and the name of the shop is called Lai Hiang Pork Ribs Prawn Mee. And here there's always a perpetual queue for their prawn mee. And the noodles here, this one here, cost me $3, and it has a much bigger portion than the previous one. The soup here is nice, it's also delicious, just that it's not, the flavor wise, it's not as strong as the previous one. The soup here has a nice prawn and egg noodle taste to the soup. Noodles also not as well done as the previous one, but still has a nice texture to it. Still good. And you also have pork ribs and prawns inside. And here, chili powder. What happens is when you add the chili powder into the soup, magic happens. Suddenly, the soup flavor is enhanced with a nice spicy and smoky flavor that runs from the tip of your tongue all the way down to your tummy, and you can taste it. Delicious. So here, after you add the chili powder, the soup, the noodles, totally delicious, jaw-droppingly delicious. In front of us now is two of the stores that sell Muslim food, and the one that's only open is here called MM Abdullah Indian Muslim Food, and beside it is another shop which sells noodles like mee siam, mee rebus. And from the first shop here, I ordered, they sell the normal Indian Muslim food like prata, biryani, which I ordered, noodles, also they cook noodles for you like mee goreng. So it's a basic Indian Muslim store, and here I ordered the biryani. The rice is done quite well, just that they don't give you enough curry. The chicken nice and tender, but the only complaint I have is that there's not enough curry for your biryani. Normally when I eat biryani, I like it to be dripping wet with curry. Here the curry is a bit oily and not enough to drip. But otherwise, it's a pretty decent average biryani. And up next, we are at this shop called Kee Nasi Lemak. And here, they sell a wide variety of items. They sell the economic bihun, and they also sell nasi lemak. So what I did was I actually ordered nasi lemak. Sorry about this. I actually packed it home, so it got a bit squashed. My mistake. This one cost me $2.70, which is quite affordable for a nasi lemak Chinese style. The rice itself is nice and coconutty. Egg done well. Chili wise okay, and this is pretty average nasi lemak, except the fried chicken. The fried chicken here, even though it has been cooked a long time ago, it still has a very nice prawn paste flavor to it, which a lot of fried chicken, after a while, after it gets cold, it doesn't retain the flavor. But here, the chicken has a very nice flavor. I would imagine if I ate it nice and hot, it would be very good. So here, $2.70 for a nasi lemak is very affordable and quite cheap. And if you are in the area and you are craving for nasi lemak, this will not disappoint you. In the distance is the Pek Kio Food Centre and Market. And food centres in Singapore is a very interesting place where people sometimes go to meet people, to eat food, to buy their groceries, to do their marketing. So it's a very central place, and it's also in the middle of all the HDB flats, where people stay. And here are one of the coffee shops. They're actually under one of the HDB flats. There's a Malay store here called Sabah Menanti, But every time I came here, it's always closed already, so I think they only open for breakfast. And this is one of the coffee shops that I scattered all around Singapore, you know. So there are a lot of coffee shops besides food centres that sells food. And as I head to the end of the block, you see there's a road here, and at the other end of the car park, there's also another coffee shop. Yes, so you walk to the end of the car park, and once you do that, you come to this coffee shop here. This coffee shop here is another place where most of the shops are closed. I suspect they actually open this coffee shop itself. I suspect they do more business during the evening time for dinner. And so, one thing interesting here is this shop that I found right in the middle. They call this Owen Wanton Mee. And as I was standing in line, I heard that this month, January, the month of January, will actually be their last month of operation. So if any of you who have memories of eating this wanton mee, you may want to come down here and try it before it closes down. So January 2019, after that they're closed. So here's the wanton noodle, cost me $3. So what you have noodles. I ordered chili, so they should put in chili sauce together with tomato ketchup into the noodles. Noodles texture wise is okay. Char siu is a bit dry. Then you have the deep fried wonton together with the soup, and in the soup itself they also have a wonton in it. Overall, just an average wonton noodle, but if you have memories of this noodle, you may want to come down here to try it before it closes. Now we are back at the coffee shop that was near the food centre, and this time we're heading to the other direction. Earlier we actually turned left and head down the car park to the other side. This time we're going to go the other direction. Okay, so we're going to go, instead of turning left, we're going to turn right and head down to that direction, because at that corner there, in between the two blocks, there's another coffee shop. Yes, and this is the coffee shop. This coffee shop is also well known to be open for late nights. So some people do come here for supper. Certain shops are open. I think the Western food is open, if I'm not mistaken. But what I'm going to try is this shop here called Fong Hainanese chicken rice. And this chicken rice cost me $3. I actually ordered the roast chicken. They also have a Hainanese chicken, and besides that they also have an interesting shop at the other end on the right, which sells Teochew porridge, which they claim to be from Beach Road, and seems to be very popular. But at the time I went there, a lot of the items were sold already, so I didn't try the food there. But here is my $3 chicken rice. What I must say is the chicken quite average, but what I do like is the sauce they actually pour on top of the chicken to season it. The sauce they pour on it has a very nice sesame oil finish that makes the rice very fragrant, makes the chicken very fragrant and very flavorful, and quite interesting and quite delicious. So if you do like chicken rice, this is quite a good place to come to try. And so we come to the end of our food adventure here today. And another reason why we came to Pek Kio here to do the food adventure is because of a request from one of my subscribers called Paradise Seeker. I was requested to just do a video of Pek Kio Food Centre and the surrounding coffee shops. So I hope you enjoyed this food adventure here, and if you did, please thank Paradise Seeker for that. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me for my food adventure here today at Pek Kio Food Centre. I surely enjoyed it. I eat lots of food. And before we go, please do me a favor. Please help me by liking my video, sharing my video, and subscribing to my channel. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it if you do. And lastly, but the most important thing, the thing that you have to do is to join me for my next food adventure. Until then, bye bye.